So it's my legal birthday, so I had to go to probation. I have a new probation officer. My other one's gone, and then I went and met with my mom, and like we went out to lunch, and then like she took me to Walmart to get shirts and to get some groceries, and I'm in line checking out, and there's this lady that's like a little bit older, and I told her, I was like, I saw this guy dressed as Santa Claus, and I was like, oh, I bet that guy has fun this time of year, and I was like, I always joke that I'm a clone of Santa Claus on the internet, and like all these girls have like taken like or have been taking sexy pictures for me, like over 1,000 of them, like to protest the mafia's censorship of the internet, and I showed her this. And because I was like, I have like thousands of pictures of them. Like these are pictures. These pictures are from May. And like in the cashier, what she said before I showed her the pictures was, "Well, you should tell him you're not Santa Claus." I was like, because like I told her, like I always joke that that I'm a clone of Santa Claus on the internet, and like all these girls have been taking taking pictures, and so like once I show her this. Like she doesn't say anything. She's the cashier at Walmart, you know. This is the Walmart where I got arrested as like a 4-year-old for shoplifting. Like seriously, that's the same Walmart. So I'm sitting there waiting to check out. She goes to like the place where like you can get change from Walmart. I'm sitting there like confused. She starts bagging someone else's groceries on another aisle, and this guy like goes like, "Can I help you?" He's like a pretty big black guy. He's about my size, and I was like, I don't know. Like she said, I'm supposed to help you, and I was like, well, I mean, I'm like there were like 10 items left to check out. Like she just walked away like right in the middle of checking out. I have no idea why she's bagging someone else's groceries, and I think that's like what Walmart's policy is on it. Like if someone's acting crazy with you, or like if someone seems dangerous, just walk away, and go like find a security guy. But like all I did was say like these girls are protesting. These pictures are from May. And they're protesting mafia censorship of the internet. I don't think they're super vulgar. Like, I mean, maybe she saw that one and that, but like, I mean, like, the point I'm trying to make is like, what you have to understand is that there's an artificial intelligence computer like farm. There is a physical location where like it is a warehouse full of computers, and those computers are spying on people's heads and their thoughts, and they're paying attention to interactions, and they're trying to like stop things from being done. Like they don't want me to show anyone this. So like the moment that I talk about the sex trafficking, the moment I talk about Shauna Ray, like usually like someone will like want to fight me. They'll like get in my face like, you're a pedophile. Or like that lady like just walked away. And like I'm sitting, okay, I feel like I should explain the one hit of weed thing. So I was a little kid that thought he was an adult. I was probably like 4 years old or something. I had already played in the Little League World Series. It was right after the Little League World Series in 2003. I used to hang out with this girl, Jordan, and like she'd like hold hands with us, like while we walked, and I had to like tell her I can't hold your hand anymore. And like she had a Jeep Cherokee, like a white one from like the 90s or something. Probably should have put the picture on here. And so like we were at Amico with this. It wasn't with Porch Monkey. It was with this other guy. Everyone had nicknames back then, and he was the guy who worked at Amico, and like he had a bubbler. And he was like, "Oh, you want to try the bubbler?" And we were like, "Oh, that's so cool." I was like, "Oh, that's so cool." I'd never really seen a bubbler, and so like I took one hit, and I was like, "I think I'm just gonna go sleep in the car." So like I was with my friends at the Amico. Like we used to go to the Amico a lot in Monument, and so like I mean like when I think about that, I think about like how can I sleep in the back of a Jeep Cherokee. Like when I think about sleeping in the back of a Jeep Cherokee, I think about like when I was a little kid messing around with my girlfriend Shelly, like in the back seat of the car, like of a Ford Crown Victoria, and she would like be like on my lap grinding me like for like hours, like and like it was like driving me nuts, like how she would just dry hump me, and like I mean that's like pretty much what she did was she dry humped me, and like but she would like be riding me in the back of a Ford Crown Victoria. And like I don't know if you could ride me in the back of, I don't know like how, I don't know, like I don't know how big I am now, but I do think about like how like easy it was to mess around in cars back then, like where like I could like have sex in a car, which I didn't have sex, but like we could like, I mean I feel like I could get around in a car a lot more back in the day. Like even in my Ford Mustang, I feel like I could mess around a lot, like in that. But in the Ford Crown Victoria, like I could like lay around. Like I mean, yeah, like, it's crazy when you think about like laying down in a car. This is getting boring, but it does tell you like my size was wrong. Like I slept on a twin size bed, like for like my sophomore year of college with another girl. I'm 6 foot tall, 230 pounds right now. I'm not fat. Like I was 6 foot tall, 205. I thought, but really I was like, it was like 5 foot tall, like when I was probably like 60. I don't even know how little I was. That is so weird. I knew I was big. I think the hardest part about being Izu or being a clone of Izu's is that like you have to like you're supposed to love everyone. You're supposed to like people. And the thing is that I do like people, and like I have this thing about me now as an adult. It's that I feel like people are nice to you if you have money. Like that's how I feel about that situation. Like it's like oh, you have money? Elon Musk. You're probably trying to do a genocide against us right now. Oh, I'd really like to have a conversation with you. I'd really like to shake your hand and have a conversation with you in private. I mean, or like, I mean, even like maybe you could bring your people. We could have a conversation. Yeah, I mean, you're doing a genocide. Yeah, I forgot about that already. I mean, because I really would like to sit down and shake your hand. But like, if you don't have money, like it is kind of the world, right? Like, and it's hard to not get to that point. But I do believe that, like, when I was a small child at Baylor, like everyone was so nice, and like they didn't care if I had money. They were my friends and blah 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 blah. But really, like they were adults organizing a bunch of little kids to go hang out with them to do stuff, and they were trying to keep us out of trouble and trying to like figure out how to like not get us like get themselves into a very awkward situation where they're getting murdered, especially because they're the cops. Like you can't bust them anyways, but they can still get murdered. And so like it's hard being like, or being the person that is supposed to be the nicest person of all time, and when like I am nice, like I am polite, but like I don't feel like, I feel like I'm too smart and I'm too awesome when I'm nothing. Like I'm a person that's not allowed to have money. Like I'm like my communications are censored. Like I'm blocked from communicating with the outside world. Like the only person I'm allowed to like be around is a person that I view as like a person that used me as for sex trafficking. Like I got sexually abused by like 100 people as a 5-year-old. Like I mean, I guarantee you, like I messed around with like probably like 200-300 people before I went to college, and so like it's hard not to like. But the thing about her is like I don't like, it's like hurting her is gonna hurt me, so like I don't want to hurt her. Like my opinion is like I kind of just like want to leave her alone. And like, and then she steps in and she decides like, well, I'm taking you to the grocery store. Like, I'm gonna be nice to you, because I was mad at her. Like I was mad at her. Like I explained it to her. I was like, I don't know how to tell people that I'm letting you out of jail after like you didn't get me clothes when you know my size is wrong. And she was like, that's because we had no time. And I was like, I asked you. And she was like, yeah. Like she's like, yeah, I did say no. But let's just go. So I had a really good day today because I think Allah is in the Bible. Like I think that I saw Curio to Theo sub Allah eyes salam. Like, because would that make sense to a Muslim? Allah eyes salam. Oh, Allah eyes salam? Allah eyes salam command. Like God wants peace. I want peace command. Like also. I think that it's like I don't know how to deal with it. Like, cause like I my probation officer, like you can tell that like she's who she's the one they sent after me in the office. Like if you were gonna pick, like, if you're making a movie about a 50-something-year-old woman who her husband died and like she can't get over the situation, and she decides to take a class on zoology because she's decided to go back to college, and she goes back to college and she meets a boy's father, and he's actually like really like studly, like he has a little stubble in his face, like he looks like he can fix the sink, which, by the way, did I fix my sink? I have a garbage disposal, and do I have a dishwasher? I do. How did I do that? On my birthday, I fixed my freaking dishwasher. It's not fixed. The latch isn't fixed. Like I put my broom on the ground and I rigged it. But it was a good day because I figured out that Allah is in the Bible. Like, does that make sense? That Qudus sub Allah would be his name? Why does it make sense? Well, Muhammad knows it's Allah. They're not following Allah. Muhammad knew that God was Allah. He follows Qudus sub Allah. Like, but yeah. So yeah, like I'm just saying, like I think that it's sub Allah. There aren't very many occasions where I actually sound crazy, but like the times that I sound crazy is probably like when I start saying that stuff like they sent the perfect probation officer after me. She's so nice. Because like what it actually is it's like I want to hate you so much, and like I do. And like I have to remind myself that I hate you guys, but like they're like sweet little girls at the probation office. Like everyone that's around, it's just like, well, there's a little sweetie or some crap. And the reality is that like the sweetie that I hooked up with when I was a little kid, that's a probation officer in Denver, is probably not as nice, but like you probably think that she's that nice. But this lady is nice. But like, I mean, she probably is actually that nice. Like, I mean, I don't even know. Like, I mean, I don't know. I feel like people get nicer when they get older. But she was a kid probably, and I was a kid, and like, I mean, and like the reality of the situation is, like, I think that my probation officer's perspective probably is that like she doesn't make decisions. Like she's just the probation officer that's there. Like she's just showing up and I'm doing my thing, and she doesn't make decisions. Like that's like she's not in charge of that stuff. Like the judge does his thing. Like, but I don't even know because like I'm in a situation with the probation office where I'm like, how is this the whole situation in general where like for this long you guys have seen all this evidence, which not this stuff, but the sex trafficking evidence. And then all anyone ever says is don't show me. And like the reality is that my probation officer that I had before, like her behavior was so, you are a super criminal. Like you're in charge of like using the law to abuse children that are sex trafficking victims. But I'm sure she doesn't. But like the way that you interact with her is like, like that person is like that is not a person that's living in reality. Like that is like, and like, but like, you have to figure out like that people can behave different ways for different reasons, and you don't know why. And a lot in modern society, the probably the number one excuse I would always use for my behavior is lawyer. I was lawyer. I know I'm lawyering. Like I'm lawyering too much, and like the idea, I think that everyone has to lawyer in this situation, but like. You know who those people. You've seen the picture of Amanda Gutierrez. Like you can go see her. She's in Colorado. You can see all these people in Colorado Springs. Like I'm naming people in Colorado Springs. You can go look at them. So I was thinking about the position that girls in that like hooked up with me when I was like 4 or 5 or something like that. Who's a probation officer in Denver, Fran, and like I mean I don't know how old she is. I think she was probably older. Like I'm pretty sure she was older. Because was she hot? She's hot now, but like she wasn't really hot then. Like not to me at all. I was never attracted to her whatsoever. But I was so little, I think, is the real situation. And so like it's one of those situations where you have to like think about it. Like I came home today and I saw 2 little girls, and like they're older than I was at that age. And like, say that like I was a part of a criminal group of people and I had to go after those groups. Like, like when I thought about that, I was like, like that was my, like the moment I thought about it, because I thought like, well, let's put myself in the same situation that girl was in, like, which like, maybe she's like a middle schooler, high schooler, or whatever, or like a middle schooler for sure. And like, he's that much younger, but like, I mean, it's like still like, but it's still in your head that much. I don't know how it happened. And like, she probably was like not, we were all that young back then. I think I don't know. But like, what I do know is that like the thought of like being with a little kid to me, like even like, I don't know how old those kids are, but like, I know like, it's like, ugh. Don't make me like think about what it'd be like if I had to, like, cause like I have to, like, I don't know, like, but like, I think like if you're like a middle school kid, maybe it's like, I don't know. Like, I think that I don't know, especially because like I was always 18. Like, you don't understand. Like, I've like never not been 16. Like when I was like not 16, I was like little. Like I think like I remember like smoking weed and falling asleep in the car. Like, and like you don't realize that like I'm just gonna go sleep in the car. I mean, no, like because you took one hit of weed. You don't realize you're a little kid and you can just go sleep in the car. I could never go sleep in the car. Now, like when I was in middle school, I could just go sleep in the backseat of a Bronco, like a white, like 19, like probably 90 Bronco. I could just go lay down and fall asleep. Like I didn't even think about it. Like I slept for like a long time. I can never sleep in a car, ever now.